Unpacking and installation. Unpack the luminaire. On the upper part of the luminaire body, there is the Jager Book 18 connector. Unpack the AirBit light controller performed by ALC-LW01 version for LoRaWAN networks. Plug the controller into the connector, turning it clockwise without pressing, until the contact group matches the connector holes. Continue turning with the slight pressure until the controller locks into the connector. The controller is removed from the socket in reverse order. Turn it counterclockwise until it disconnects, then move it up to extract from the socket. Connect the luminaire contacts to the power supply, install it on the footing and turn on the power supply. If no controller settings were changed, the luminaire will turn on with 100% of its brightness. If the geographic coordinates of the installation site were set in the controller settings and the luminaire synchronized its time, the controller will calculate the sunrise and sunset time and the luminaire will be turned off during daylight hours. At night, it will be turned on at 100% of its brightness. Setup and network connection. To set up, you will need PC or laptop, USB dongle for connection to the controller via FSK protocol, AirBit configuration app. Plug the USB dongle into the USB connector of the laptop and launch the AirBit configuration app. Click on the Connect button, select the appropriate COM port. USB dongle is identified by the system as a COM port. Then, after some waiting, select your controller from the list and enter the password. By default, 2222. Move on to the Settings section and change the required parameters. For the version without GPS module, it is important to indicate the coordinates of the installation location, latitude and longitude. In this example, the sensitivity level of the accelerometer is also changed to high. Next, click on the Save button and wait for the parameters to be saved in the controller's memory. Upon the initial setup, it is necessary to connect the controller to the network. To do this, open a browser and go to the AirBit network server control interface at server.air-bit.eu. Log into your account, go to the End Devices section, click the New Device button and fill in the following fields: DVUI, copy from the configurator, fill in the name field as you wish, device class C, method of activation OTAA, APUI, copy from the configurator, app key, copy from the configurator. Optionally fill in the fields: network, select from the list, frequency plan, select the entry into the groups. Next, click the Save Changes button. Find the device you added in the list. Click on the name to open the data exchange history. After the new device is added, you need to start the procedure for connecting to the network. To do this, go to AirBit Configuration app and click on the Rejoin tab. Then, after a while, on the Disconnect button. Go to the browser and update the history of data exchange. You'll see the Join request to connect to the network and Join Accept, the response of the network server. Update the history from time to time and see how data from the device starts to flow. Then, in order to check the connection, you can go to the demo control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/lite after copying the DVUI of the added controller. On this page, you need to add a new controller. For this, you need to paste the copied DVUI into the appropriate field and click on the Save button. Then, in the list of controllers, click on the Select button. On the right side of the page, the console is displayed, showing communication with the controller in real time. Here you see how regular packets come from the controller and the data is updated in the last state block. You can also go to the Settings Controller Settings section and get the current controller settings. For this, click on the Get button and wait until all the form fields are filled with the data received from the controller. To change the settings, you need to change any of the fields and click on the Send button. Switching back to AirBit network server, you can see the entire history of data exchange, list of base stations through which the exchange was made, as well as signal quality parameters. Signal quality graphs. Switching on and off. First, the controller must be installed in the Lumina, configured and connected to the LoRaWAN networks as described in the previous videos. It is also worth noting that the illumination level has a scale from 0 to 254, and in most cases this dependence is logarithmic. For a specific Lumina model, you can find this information in the manufacturer's documentation. Some Lumina drivers have a lower threshold limit, which will be shown in this video. Go to the demo control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/lite, find your controller in the list and press Select. Open the Daemon Temporary section. In the Daemon Level field, enter the level 250. In the Duration field, enter the duration of 120 seconds and press Set button. You'll see how the Lumina turns on with the maximum brightness level. After 120 seconds, the Lumina will return to the previous mode in accordance with the current profile. In the Daemon Level field, enter the level 170. In the Duration field, enter the duration of 60 seconds and press Set button. You'll see how the Lumina turns on with a significantly lower level. After 60 seconds, the Lumina returns to the previous mode. In the Daemon Level field, enter the level 120. In the Duration field, enter the duration of 0 seconds, which means no time limit, and press Set button. You'll see how the luminaire turns on with the same level as when level 170 was set. This is also displayed in the last state section. The set level value is 120 and the real driver level value is 170. This indicates that the lower threshold of the luminaire driver is 170. Fixed time dimming schedule. First, the controller must be installed in the luminaire, configured and connected to the LoRaWAN networks as described in the previous videos. It is also worth noting that the illumination level has a scale from 0 to 254, and in most cases this dependence is logarithmic. For a specific luminaire model, you can find this information in the manufacturer's documentation. Go to the dimmer control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/light. Wait for the next packet with data from the controller, and you'll see that the current level is 0, the luminaire is off. Go to the dimming fixed time profile section. Pay attention to the notification which says that the time, hours and minutes is indicated in the UTC time zone. On the system clock, the time is 11:20 GMT plus 3. Thus, when creating a profile, you'll shift 3 hours back. Fill in the profile starting from 8:27 UTC with an interval of 1 minute, gradually increasing the brightness level. In the last entry, set the level 0. Press the Send button and wait until the profile is applied. Keep watching the luminaire. Exactly at 11:27 GMT plus 3, the luminaire will turn on in accordance with the level specified in the profile. Then the level will increase every minute, and at 11:31 GMT plus 3, the luminaire will turn off. Thus, you can see how to use a profile with a time-based schedule. Technically, there can be several profiles. User has an ability to switch between profiles using the appropriate command. Thus, a flexible street lighting control system can be formed. It is more interesting how this problem is solved by the profile based on the shift from the sunrise and sunset, or a combined profile in which both approaches can be combined. More details in the next video. Dimming schedule by shift from sunrise or sunset. First, the controller must be installed in the luminaire, configured and connected to the LoRaWAN network as described in the previous videos. It is also worth noting that the illumination level has a scale from 0 to 254, and in most cases, this dependence is logarithmic. For a specific luminaire model, you can find this information in the manufacturer's documentation. Go to the demo control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/light. Check geographic coordinates set in the controller settings. Moscow coordinates are set. Check the time of sunrise and sunset in Moscow on the date of May 7, 2021. You'll find out that the sunrise is at 4:33 a.m. and the sunset is at 4:19 p.m. local time GMT+3. Go to Dimming Geo-coordinates profile section. Fill in the profile for the sunrise, indicate the first shift 35,940, which is exactly 10 hours without 60 seconds, that is 2:32 p.m. local time. At this time, the luminaire should turn off, because zero level was set. Next, each time increase the shift by 60 seconds, gradually increasing the dimming level from 170 to 250. With the last record of the profile, set zero level again. Press the Send button and wait for the profile to be applied on the controller. You'll see that exactly at 2:32 p.m. the luminaire will turn off. Then, starting at 2:33 p.m., it will turn on, every minute increasing its level in accordance with the profile. And at 2:37 p.m. it will turn off again. When forming a profile, both the shift from sunrise or sunset, positive or negative, and fixed time can be used, which allows you to form the flexible rules for controlling street lighting. Dimming by illumination level. First, the controller must be installed on the luminaire, configured and connected to the LoRaWAN network as described in the previous videos. It is also worth noting that the illumination level has a scale from 0 to 254, and in most cases this dependence is logarithmic. For a specific luminaire model, you can find this information in the manufacturer's documentation. In this demonstration, an external light source was pointed at the luminaire with the possibility to gradually change the level, simulating a change in illumination. Go to the demo control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/light. Go to the Dimming Illumination Profile section. Create a profile and indicate illumination in percent and the corresponding dimming level for the luminaire. Press the Send button and wait until the profile is applied on the controller. Artificially changing the level of illumination, you'll see how the luminaire switches its level in accordance with the profile. change of tilt angle and a strike. First, the controller must be installed in the luminaire, configured and connected to the LoRaWAN network as described in the previous videos. Go to the demo control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/light. Go to the Settings Controller Settings section and set the tilt threshold angle to 5 degrees and accelerometer sensitivity to middle. Press the Send button and wait for the settings to be applied by the controller. Let's simulate tilt of the footing. In the console, you'll see a red alarm message signaling that the tilt angle is exceeded. Let's emulate a strike. In the console, you'll see a red alarm message signaling a strike. Turning off and on the external power supply. First, the controller must be installed in the luminaire, configured and connected to the LoRaWAN network as described in the previous videos. Go to the demo control interface at ws.air-bit.eu/light. Let's emulate external power supply cutoff. In the console, you'll see a red alarm message signaling a power outage. Let's emulate the return of external power supply after turning it off. In the console, you'll see a green message signaling that external power supply is restored.